Hey guys, hope you're having a great day today. It is Friday. Happy Friday morning to you. I hope that your morning is going well. My morning is going great. I'm up, got my flamingo cup of coffee. If you got a flamingo cup of coffee, life is great. No, I'm just kidding. But it makes the day go so much better when you got a little pink flamingo to hold on to and you're like, okay, life is good. So today is Friday. It's been a good week around our household. I feel like getting back into I say getting back into, but like a normal, good routine, having my series that I'm doing through the weeks, that's also encouraging me as well. And then also not having to run as much because Brooklyn is an official driver now. She can take her car and go do her thing all by herself, which is nice. So that gives me a little bit more time at home. It gives you more time to do extra things. We've been enjoying more walks. We've been able to sit and I don't have to worry about having to leave right away. And so it's just nice. It's just nice to not have to have that extra to do and drive. And I know I will eventually. Autumn will be next. I got a little bit of time, but she'll probably be the next one to start working. Not yet, a little bit of time. So today is Friday, so it's been a good week of getting things done. I've got a few things to get accomplished today. I went shopping this week. Remember, we've been doing our once a week shopping, something a little bit different this month, having more of a lesser spend month. It's like I went and got all of that meat in the freezer. And I think it was in December. I'm pretty sure it was in the beginning of December and I stocked up on a lot of meat, which is good. I will be doing that again as well. And so we have a lot of that. I have a lot of staples in my pantries and cupboards. And so when I've been going to the store, it's just been for little things here and there. So we did another shopping haul and picked up what we needed for it this week. So let me share with you with that here. Okay, something we need is some napkins. What's the difference between every day and those? $6.32 and $3.48. We will do $3.48 for these. Okay, trash bags. These are the ones we use for in our house, the bathrooms. Okay, we're gonna get 2 milks here. This is the same price, so I'm gonna get this until I make my chocolate syrup. I'm gonna get some milk right in here, regular white. Okay, I need provolone. At least I have provolone. Let's have to get 2 small ones here. I'm gonna get some cheese here. I think we'll do mild. I like the mild for shredding. And then a mozzarella right here. Right there. Need some ranch to tide us over until we get to Sam's Club. So I'm just gonna get this and hopefully I like it. I'm gonna get these tortillas right here. I guess I'll get 2. Maybe 3. I think these are split peas right here for split pea soup. There they are. I'm gonna try this almond flour. Okay, I'm looking for, oops, I know there. There's their pizza. Look how tiny their pizza sauce jars are. What? They used to be a lot bigger. Hold on. I thought their last pizza sauce was I think $1.50. That's so weird. Did they just change it or what? I'm gonna get 2 of these. It's like I got pizza sauce, but we'll use this one. Okay, one of these. Try this. I just need some sandwich bread to kind of tide us over. Bread's usually pretty cheap. Where is their bread? Is the bread down here? Trying to think which one to get. They've got honey wheat, maybe we'll get. I guess this will work. Can we get 2 of these? Okay, their lettuce is $1.84. Let's see. I'm gonna get one and get this and hope it's good instead of using the lettuce. Grab some bananas right here. I feel like I should get these at Aldi's $5 for a tiny little bag. Not very much, but it'll work. So I was just looking at my Every Dollar app and I was adding up what we spent in groceries, and we spent about $250 in groceries this month. That is not bad. That's not bad at all. So mind you, we have had a freezer full, so there was a lot of meat in there. I didn't have to buy any meat. It was mostly just little things here and there and some perishable things. So that's a good thing. That's a really good thing. So I'm liking doing that. We'll just continue doing that here until the freezer is empty, or I feel like, okay, time to go get some meat. I'm gonna have to do a Sam's Club haul probably next week because I am out of my sugar and my flour is going down, so we're gonna have to do a bigger one next week. So it seems like it's less, but I'm gonna have to go get some big stuff. I could just get small things like a flour and sugar, but it's for me, we're gonna use so much, I might as well get the big bulk bags of it. So not bad though, definitely not bad for a lower spend month. So today, what do we gotta do today? Today we have same things to do every day. School and life and food and chores, all the good things. So I'm gonna start out, I've got went shopping and got my cheese. So I'm gonna grind up my cheese today. And then one of you recommended taking our stuffing. I bought a bunch of stuffing in boxes because I had the ham, I had the turkey. We don't love it. We don't love it. It's okay to have for a little bit, but just not a favorite. So I'm gonna save a couple boxes of like the chicken stuffing, but the other ones, like the, I think it's the Hawaiian bread ones, someone recommended grinding it up for breadcrumbs. Hello, I didn't even think of that. I'm like, I didn't even think of doing that at all. Now I wonder, like I get the big thing. I know you can make your own breadcrumbs by grinding bread up. I understand that, and drying it. That probably is an option to do, but I wonder, like I get the big one at Sam's Club. I think it's like $5 or $6. So I wonder if getting the stuffing mix, because that's like what, $1.25. It's still probably cheaper to buy breadcrumbs, I'm sure, because they add spices to it, right? Yeah, I'm just talking out loud. Anyways, but I'm gonna do that today. I was gonna take that and grind it up to use it for that. I'll put it in my container. We can coat we make a lot of like chicken patties, and the kids really like those with our ground chicken, so it will definitely not go to waste, but it's a good way to use it up. I was kind of like, I added it to meatloaf, like the bigger chunks, and we just did not love it, so I'd much rather have it all smaller and kind of ground up. So I'm gonna do that today as well. I'm looking at my list. I gotta get my cleaner out. So all that cleaner that I was soaking and marinated in the oranges and the cranberries, this smells really good. I'm excited to use that. So I'd like to fill my containers up, make some dinner, do life, school, all those good things. So you ready for an amazing day today? I'm ready for a great day. All right, let's go into the kitchen and we'll start work. All right, let's go. Okay, first things first, let me share with you. I went for a walk yesterday and one of my neighbors was throwing away some planter things. I picked some up, I saw them, they were like all bright and sparkling. I'm like, that looks like Jaden. So I grabbed them for her, and then I saw this one. I'm like, let me get it, this purple one here, because it's got a little chip in it, but it's okay. You know, I'm not very good with planting things, growing things. I'm okay with it. I bought a Christmas cactus. My mom had one. I bought it, I think, the year we moved in here. And I was like, I'm gonna make this grow. I'm gonna do great. I had it sitting out here on my countertop. It died. It died. And I was like, okay. And so Miss Barbara had gotten us some succulents here. And look at, they're thriving. They're actually doing very well. So I've got those sitting right here in the front of my kitchen. I'm very shocked on that one. So those are growing well. And then when at Christmas time, I went to Publix and they had another cactus. And I'm like, I'm gonna get one. I'm gonna get one. I'm gonna make this work. It's still alive, people. But I keep it in my windowsill over here. And I'm sure that makes a little bit of difference. So I am excited to keep this thing alive. I wasn't sure. I'm like, if it grows, it's okay. I think I bought a, what did I buy? The Christmassy one. What's it called? Poinsettia, the pink one. And so I had that in the kitchen. I just stuck that outside in a planter, and I just looked at it yesterday and the leaves all just died out, or the flowers died on it because it was so cold outside, maybe to pop back up. But this is still living. So I saw this, I'm like, I can put it in here. So I'm just gonna trade this out, put it inside here, get out the foil for it and stick it in. Because I think it's gonna make a place in my home. I think it's gonna make it. It's perfect. I like purple. It works. There's a little sticker on. I guess I can try to get the sticker off. I don't really care if there's a sticker on or not. But there you go. Christmas cactus. I'm going to put this back in my little window over here so it can continue to grow. There is hope for those of you that think that things are never going to live in your life. They will. Okay, let's go down here and see what we have for the stuffing. Like I said, it's not, maybe if you eat it all the time and you like it, or if you had more in your family that likes it. I just do not. I think the only people that like stuffing is in box stuffing. Like, I'll eat it and Brooklyn likes it. I don't know if the other kids, they don't love it. They'll eat it, but they just don't love it. So it's one of those things, I bought a lot of it, and what do you do with it? So I'm gonna keep some of the plain ones just to have some, but these ones they did not like, and that's okay. I'm sure it's delicious. I'm sure it's wonderful. They just do not care for it. How much did I buy here? I bought a lot of stuffing. I did. I got all excited with those turkeys, and I'm like, oh, this will be great. Okay, these are all sage and onions. So I will probably just take those and we'll grind them up and use them as breadcrumbs. That's a really great idea because that's all it is. I mean, it's a bunch of stuff in there, of course. You know, all the flavorings and that, but it'll be okay. It'll work. So then I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got 6 things of stuffing. That's a lot of stuffing. Do you keep? I have 2 more turkeys to go. I might keep. I do have a couple different recipes that I might try with stuffing. So, do we try cornbread? I've never ever tried cornbread. Okay, so let's keep some. I will keep 2 here. That one. Stuffing will last you forever. Let's just do the Hawaiian one. I don't think anybody loves the sweet ones. We'll keep the plain ones because this can stay in your cupboard for a long time. It's like one of those dry ingredients like our oatmeal we just used. I just opened up our last container of oatmeal. We had bought it. It was sealed, it's dated, and it was from, we got a discount store. I bought them for so cheap, and I just opened the last one to fill it up, and I'm like, it's exactly the same. It's like those dry ingredients will last you forever as long as they're properly closed in. So, okay, let's use this one. Let's do this and we'll grind them up. I was looking at the ingredients. I pulled up mine right here. And the ingredients on here is like a big giant list. Toasted breadcrumbs, and there's like a whole list of it. So I guess it's really, I guess if you sat and analyzed, it probably isn't much from here. So I'm just gonna do it in my food processor. I don't mind using and putting them in here. These were Italian ones, they have spices. I could add that to it. But whenever we make, like we use the breadcrumbs, I always add my own spices to it anyway. So it's not a big deal. Okay, there's a little bit of water in there. Make sure that's dry. Perfect. Okay, let's just put these into the food processor. It grinds it just up like breadcrumbs. That's so funny. Like even smelling, it really doesn't even smell any different. Thank you for whoever told me to do this. That's a great, great idea. So I was, yeah, look at that. I'll pour that in there carefully. I need something with a spoon. There we go, we've got some more. Let me do the rest. I just replenished pretty much this whole container with breadcrumbs. That was way good on something that we probably would not even use up. So this is good. It even smells better. Kind of it smells like stale bread. The container did, but now it has at least the flavors of the stuffing. So not bad. Thank you for that little hack there that someone told me about. So awesome. Now we got breadcrumbs. I won't have to buy any. Okay, another thing that I have on my list to do today is shred the cheese. We buy it this way and then I shred it myself, and it works out good. I had the manual one that was the one that's got the chute now. It was before, then I got it a long time ago in the mountains. It was always hard because the cheese got everywhere, and then they upgraded and have the chute, and I was like, it's good. And I have a vegetable slicer that, like, it's kind of like food processor, cuts up and dices your food up real good, and you can get the cheese and put it in there, and it kind of shreds it up too. But I don't feel like getting it out because I already have my food processor out. So it's going to, I'm just gonna put it in the food processor and it's gonna grind it up more like little chunks, but that's okay. It doesn't matter to me because sometimes when it's soft, it does that anyways. So I'm not worried. We're just throw it in here. We got it out. We might as well not get something else out. Let's grind it up so we can get little pieces. I'll put it in bags, put it in the refrigerator, in the freezer, so we have cheese for a little while for sure. Now my old food processor had a like a disc you put on top, and it shredded it. I miss that. The Food Ninja, or my Ninja, does not, which I was really surprised. So it makes it more like, do you ever, I think you can go to the store and buy cheese curds. Do you ever see where that's basically what it is? It's just little chunks of cheese, and it's fine. It doesn't really matter. It's not like we need to have shredded. This is what it looks like. Let me get this off here. Hold on 1 second. It looks more like this. It works fine. Like I said, it saves me from having to get something else out right now. Already got the food processor out, might as well. So it works. I was just thinking before, I'm like, this one does not have the blade, so I'll use that. But then when you get that out, it's a little bit messier. It takes a little bit more time because it goes through and shreds it, and sometimes it gets, this knife is too tiny to use this. There we go, big knife. Sometimes it just gets stuck and ends up turning into curds anyways, and the first parts are more shredded, but that's okay. You do what you can do. So we're gonna throw all this in here, let it grind. Picking my dishes up so there's nothing to sink, and I've got all my cheese right here. So we've got plenty of cheese, so I don't have to worry about doing it for any meal. Okay, perfect. The other thing I'm gonna do is in my refrigerator, I had some veggies still cut up. The celery, you know how celery gets yucky on the ends? But the middle is just fine, and so I'm just gonna cut off the ends, put that out so we eat that up today. I have a few minutes and I've got to start school with the kids. So what I'm going to do is I've got a pot of water boiling over here. And yesterday, you didn't see it, but I made some Philly cheesesteak subs. I had a couple pieces of hamburger cut up, and I put a package of hamburger from the refrigerator that was cooked with peppers and onions in my freezer. And I added a little bit of cream and mushroom soup. I had one container left. And we just put it on the sub bread, which was good with provolone cheese. But I'm going to heat that up. I've got some sour cream left. We're going to use that up, and then I'm going to add noodles to it. I've got 2 boxes of noodles. I've got one bag and a tiny little bit. They're totally different, but it'll be fine because everybody likes the beef stroganoff. It's like hamburger beef stroganoff, so that'll be a good, easy lunch today. And if not lunch, we can have it for the weekend and just use it for whenever anybody is hungry. I'll do dinner tonight too as well, but this will be good for right now. And then, do I also have videos? I do. And then, do you like to see like easy meals? Why not? Why not make today a little easier for myself? I have pre-recorded different days that I wasn't filming my dinners and that, just to give you some different dinner ideas. Let me share with you all of that here. After the holidays here, I'm like ready for some real solid hearty food, besides all the little munchies we've had lately. So I'm gonna make Salisbury steak. So I'm taking 2 packages of my hamburger mixture from the freezer, thawed it. It's half turkey and half beef, and it's about 1.5 pounds for each bag. So about 3 pounds for this here. And then we're gonna add in my original, let me give you the original recipe because I'm eyeballing it. So it is 2 pounds of ground beef, 3/4 cup of seasoned breadcrumbs, 1/4 cup of mustard, 1/4 cup of ketchup, teaspoon of beef bouillon, a tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce, half a teaspoon of salt and pepper. And then I also added some garlic pepper in mine, and I also added a couple of eggs because if you don't, it's a little bit softer, which I guess for me, growing up, that's how our Salisbury steak was. It's a little more soft, but as I'm getting older, I'm like, I kind of like it to be a little bit more firmer. So I added 2 eggs to my mixture as well. And then I'm going to take them and make them into patties, and I'm going to fry them in a little bit of butter here on the stove, and then I'm going to place them in my slow cooker so I can bake these today and let them cook all through. We're just going to brown them. After my meat was browned, I put it into my slow cooker here, and then I have 2 layers, so that's why there's tinfoil underneath it. I wanted to bake it so I could take the top layer off without having the gravy on it. So I let this bake for about 4 hours because I was gone for the day. And then I'm gonna make my gravy mixture for the bottom. So the original recipe is 1 stick of butter and 1 onion diced up. I did not want to have to dice another onion because I forgot about doing that this morning. So I just put some minced onion in there, and that's fine. Just kind of sauteing that up a little bit right here. And then what you're going to add to this is going to be 2.5 cups of beef broth. So I'm adding the beef bouillon, the dry stuff here, and then I'm going to be adding my water to it to make the beef broth for the gravy. And then you're going to add in 1 tablespoon of ketchup and 1 tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce. And then I'm gonna cook some egg noodles. That's what we like to serve ours over here. So I've got a pot of water boiling. Just gonna add 1 package to that while my gravy mixture is heating up. What I'm going to do is take a little bowl here, and I took 2 tablespoons of cornstarch and a little bit of cold water in here and just stir it together so I can thicken this gravy. And so just stir it real well before you add it. You can't add cornstarch to hot liquid, it would be clumpy, so do it to cold and then add it in. And then I'm going to stir it up, and then it's going to just make a nice little gravy. And then all you're going to do is pour it over top of your beef patties. I took off that top layer because I wanted it separate. And then I just put the lid back on it, and I let this bake for another, I was here probably about an hour, but it was just on low, so it was no big deal. Delicious Salisbury steak. Today we're going to make some hamburger buns for our chicken patty sandwiches that we're going to make homemade. So into my mixer here, my dough mixing machine, which I really, really enjoy having. So this one you're going to add 1 cup plus 2 tablespoons of warm water, and then 2 tablespoons of yeast, a 1/3 cup of oil, and a 1/4 cup of sugar. I'm going to kind of like mix that together and let that sit for about 5 minutes. I'm going to add 1 egg and a teaspoon of salt and let that mix for a few seconds. Then you're going to add 3 to 3.5 cups of bread flour to this. So this dough you don't let rise, you just take it and you just divide it into 8 pieces, and then I'm going to roll it into 8 balls and just set it on a cookie sheet. Just a timer for 10 minutes and let it sit until it rests, and then you're going to bake it at 425. Okay, so I have been, when we moved into this house, they have this great stove, which is awesome, but they had this cast iron griddle on top, and it was rusty, and I was like, oh. So, like, I didn't bother cleaning that off because I thought, well, maybe it's just ruined. I looked up the plates, they were like $100, and I was like, oh, $100 for a new one. I ended up using one of my griddle toppers, and I just put it on top of it, and it heated up and it was fine. The problem was it was just not, it takes a long time to heat up, so it just takes longer. No worries, no big deal. But I was sitting there the other day, I was like, maybe I should replace that griddle, and then I started looking at it, I'm like, yeah, they're a lot of money. So I'm like, surely I can clean this off. It's like cast iron, right? It is. So Googling different things and ways to do it. So the first one I'm going to do is use vinegar. So basically I'm going to put vinegar on this, a little bit of water, and let that soak for a little bit, and then try to scrub off the rust on it and see if I can get that off. We'll see. Let's just trial and error right now. It says to let set vinegar solution, which is vinegar and water, and then let it sit. So I'm just going to let that soak here. We'll see if we can make this come clean. And you put your buns in the oven and bake them for about 10 minutes. I'm going to do 400 degrees. Okay, it says to wait an hour. Am I really going to wait an hour? Ugh, I have to find other things to do. I'm going to do a little bit of baking soda here and try scrubbing it, see if it does anything. Okay, I think I did it. Oh my goodness. With the vinegar, it was not looking like anything, but adding the baking soda and making that paste and scrubbing it, I feel like that rust came off. This would be a miracle. My original recipe is 2 pounds of ground chicken, and it's 1 egg, 1/2 cup of breadcrumbs, salt and pepper, garlic, onion, mustard, Worcestershire, 2 teaspoons of that, and then you coat it in breadcrumbs. So now, over the last year, we've done a different. We've added buffalo sauce, and everybody seems to like that. So I just added paprika and onion to it. That's it, salt and pepper, and the breadcrumbs. And then I added extra egg because I have more on here. But you basically just make them into patties, and you're gonna fry them in oil. I'm gonna do it on my new the griddle that I just got the rust off. I'm going to season it with oil and then use it. Okay, I'm going to try to bring back to life my griddle here. So I'm going to put some oil on it, just kind of season it a little bit, and then we'll use it for frying the patties. Okay, of course it's going to cook a little bit uneven in the pan because obviously one is closer to the heat than the other. So I just moved it around so they cooked. I made these a lot thicker than I normally do. Usually I do thin patties. I did 3 pounds of ground chicken, and so I figured I'd make a heartier sandwich versus like more thinner ones, just because I made 1 batch of buns. So this is good. We've got 8 here, huge. So just check your internal temperature. 165 is what you want it to go at. My buns are out of the oven. Those are done. Put a little bit of butter on top, and that's it. And I've got fries in the oven. Dinner is complete. My apologies, no finished product on the chicken patty sandwiches. They're delicious with pickles and cheese and Chick-fil-A sauce. Yummy good. Another inexpensive meal that we like to make for our family is shepherd's pie. I believe some people call it cottage pie. I had a few potatoes left over here in my refrigerator, so I was gonna peel them and then cook them so I can make some mashed potatoes. I didn't know if I'd have enough, but we really don't use potatoes for anything else. So I thought, well, if I have to, I can add some instant potato flakes to it, which I end up doing. And so for this recipe, I am gonna take, we had a lot of onions, we had a lot of carrots, and we had a lot of celery. So I was gonna take and chop those all up. If you got it, go ahead. And if not, you know what, use your spices. That works really good too. I just had these, so I'm like, let me use them up. So I'm just gonna dice these up. Most of the time, I probably would not do as many as I am doing right now, but the fact is that I had a lot, so let's just cut them up. And the baby carrots, you know, those are always worse to have to chop than a big giant carrot. Then over on my stove here, I'm gonna put some olive oil inside my pan here, and then I'm just gonna saute these vegetables. So very simple. Got stainless steel pan here that I want to try out and use. Putting those in there, and then I got from my freezer a garlic puck here, and I added that in there, and I added some salt and pepper, and just cook that till they were soft. Okay, totally forgot, didn't show, but I added my ground beef to this. I had a cooked 2-pound package of ground beef, so I added that to there, and I added in a little bit of beef bouillon in there just for flavor, and then this is homemade cream of mushroom soup. They were just small containers, so I'm gonna add that in there, and that's gonna be my base and my gravy. Just gonna heat this up so that it's got a nice taste. This is all stuff gathering from my freezer. So I'm gonna place it in my slow cooker here. You can put it just in a pan so you can bake in the oven. Now normally I would add a package of mixed frozen vegetables right here, but some of my kids do not like it, and I was like, instead of stressing and saying, eat it, eat it, eat it, why don't I just leave it plain? So I did, it worked out. And then I've got my potatoes here. So this was just gathering what I had. So I just took my potatoes, I'm adding some butter in here, salt and pepper, and a little bit of milk, and I'm just gonna smash them down. Smash them down, and then after looking at it, I was like, okay, that's not as much as I need. I think I need to do a little bit more. So I was testing it and trying it to see what was good. So I added some instant potato flakes to it. Had to add a little bit more milk to it. Then I had to add a little bit more butter to it and salt and pepper. And then I'm like, okay, that's good. So it worked. It stretched the potatoes, and I was able to have enough for our meal without having to go buy some potatoes, which was a beautiful, beautiful thing. So then all you do is you take this, you plop it on top of your beef mixture. And some people take it and they, after they spread out, they put some cheese on there as well. We don't. I just leave it this way because not everybody can have cheese in our home. And so this was delicious. My family said it reminded them just of like hamburger gravy. And so I'm like, it did taste like hamburger gravy. Delicious and yummy. Okay, for my dinner here, I'm going to be making chicken parmesan. This is something I made it before. This was like years and years ago, and the kids didn't like it, but now that they're older, they really do enjoy it. I made it last time, and they're like, that was really good. So basically, very simple. Make your own chicken patties. What I do is I take my own chicken breast, and I grind it up in the food processor. You got to make sure you go through and kind of remove out the veiny stuff. I know it sounds gross. Tendons, whatever, all those little white things in there, because those aren't fun to bite into when you're eating the chicken. So just go through and kind of pull those out and then freeze it. And you've got ground chicken way cheaper than buying it at the store. And then this is the original recipe for how we make our patties. So what you do is in a mixing bowl is for 2 pounds of ground chicken, you take a half a cup of breadcrumbs, 1 egg, and then you use spices, paprika, salt, pepper, garlic, onion. Then you use mustard, squirt of mustard, and Worcestershire sauce, or Worcester sauce, about 2 teaspoons. But what I have found, I've just kind of used different things that I've had over the years, or over the last year, and the kids really like hot sauce in it. Now, it doesn't make the chicken super spicy at all. It's just something that just gives it a good flavor. So I am going to add in mine, I have Old Bay seasoning because I'm gathering up fragments, and I'm going to put that in there because I completely forgot I had that. And I'll add my egg and breadcrumbs, and then I'm going to add hot sauce to it and mix it up, and then form it into patties, and we're going to fry it on the stove. Very simple and yummy and delicious. It's so good. Like, I used to buy those little patties at the store in the bag. They used to be not too expensive. They're a lot more now, but having these, just way better. You can make your own chicken nuggets this way. You can do your own chicken patties, whatever you want to do, but we're going to be doing it because I'm using up spaghetti sauce, so we're going to be doing it is chicken parmesan. So after I coated them in breadcrumbs, again, a little bit of Old Bay seasoning, I'm going to fry them here with a little bit of oil and just let them get brown. Even if it's not cooked completely through, you're going to bake in the oven, so that's completely fine to do. And then I'm going to make some spaghetti sauce. Now, I am gathering fragments because that's what I'm trying to do this month. I have this jar of ragu sauce. We did not like this. I don't know why. I've always bought name brand, or not name brand, no name brand, like Walmart brand, Aldi brand sauce, and never had an issue. I bought this ragu because it wasn't too expensive, but I feel like the taste is just yuck. Like we really have to kind of like, okay, it doesn't taste very good. Or normally I can doctor up anything and make it taste good. I just didn't think it was very, very good at all. So, but not to waste it, we'll use it up. So I had some in my freezer, so I'm putting that in there. And then I'm also taking, I had a little bit of tomato paste in my freezer. I'm putting that in there as well to use it up. And then my sauce here has a little bit of meat in it, so that's quite all right. We can kind of stretch that spaghetti a little bit and then add the sauce. I'll add a bunch of spices to try to spice it up and make it not that good. And I took the patties and put them in a casserole pan and put cheese on top. One I had dairy-free cheese and the other one was regular, just mozzarella on top, and then I put the sauce on top of it. Now this is one of those meals that I feel like is not a very good meal, but my family really likes it and everybody enjoyed it very much. I covered it in foil. I also used up Parmesan cheese. I'm trying to use up this container I bought, a big giant container, and we just don't use it all the time. I like the fresh, real stuff. So this worked, and I totally forgot to film it what it looked like that day. So here's a plate like the next day. It's good. Greg really enjoyed it. And then we made here's with the pizza crust. Maddie made some pizzas for lunch. And then this was, I had some peppers and onions in my freezer to use up. And so I had a couple extra hamburger patties. So I cut those up. There was only like 2. So I got a package of cooked hamburger from my freezer and put it in here. I was putting steak seasoning in here. I put pepper in here. I put garlic in here. And it's just to make like a quote unquote Philly cheesesteak kind of flavor. I know it's not perfect, but it works. I also found an onion in my refrigerator. I'm like, let me use this up. So I just was cutting it up, putting it inside of there. This is very simple, a little salt and pepper in here. And it's a very flavorful, simple dish. And it was enjoyable. And we just kind of cooked it here. And then I had one little container, this little small one, of cream of mushroom soup. This is our homemade cream of mushroom soup that I had in my freezer. And so I'm like, I need to use this up. So I thought, well, I can put it in here for us to have this recipe. So I just let it simmer. And then when it was ready that day, the kids, the day before we had chicken subs with our sub bread. And when I went to make dinner, they're like, oh, do we have to have beef? Can we have the chicken? And I was like, sure, you can have chicken. So we used up our little chicken tenders and cut those up and put them on top here. This is how they had them. So I had to laugh. I'm like, that's okay, whatever you guys want to do. So I was like taking a step back right here because I'm like, let me see here. So I've got provolone cheese. I put it on one side. The other side, this was just chicken tenders, and we just cut them up and put them on the one side, and then we put this into the oven and let it broil. And then the kids put all their sub toppings on top, and that was easy. So they had that 2 days in a row. They really liked that. I'll have to remember to do this again. And so then Greg said, he goes, well, I'll have one of the Philly cheesesteak ones. So I was like, okay, thank you. So I made one for him, and I put a little bit of Miracle Whip on there and the cheese and just the meat mixture. And that's it. And then just put it in the oven and let it broil. It's just a simple and easy meal to have. And now that we're making our own sub bread, very good. And then I made like lettuce wraps out of it. So I took meat mixture. I had one meat mixture. I took it out before I added the cream of mushroom soup to it. And so mine just has meat and the peppers and onions and spices. And so I just put that on top of lettuce pieces here. I know, it's so fancy. Just did what I can do. I'm like, that's pretty good. And then I had some hot pepper rings. I put that on there. I even think I put some pickles on there too. Now I've had something simple and easy, just a little bit different for dinner. Those are just easy meals, gathering fragments, using what I have in my pantry. So that's a good thing. So we're gonna let that come to boil. I'm gonna get out my cleaner. Look at, this is what I did. I took oranges. This I actually took some orange pieces and cranberries, and we have it soaking in vinegar. It smells really, really good. Now this one, it still smells pretty vinegary. And so I don't know if it's just because of the cranberries. This one, we just put oranges in it, and it smells a little bit more orangey, like it doesn't smell very vinegary at all. So I'm going to take this one because I'm waiting. We have spray bottles in all the bathrooms, and then this is what the kids clean with. And so I have I had a big jug of Mr. Clean when we moved to Florida, because I bought it at the discount store for like $6 a gallon of it. I bought 2 of them. We just finished that like a little bit ago, and this was during like crazy life and trying to adjust to everything here. So the kids are cleaning. I'm like, you know what? They're like, oh, we just want cleaner. So I just bought a container of like the Fabuloso or whatever the Walmart brand was. And so they still are using that one a little bit. So they'll probably keep using that till it's gone. But I'm like, I like vinegar. I like natural. I like that. Not for everything. I'll buy processed stuff, but I'm just saying I like that for cleaners. It just, I don't know, it feels better, doesn't it? So I'm thinking I'm gonna strain this one out. I'm just gonna do one right here, strain this out, and then I'll pour it into my spray bottle and we can use that. So I'm excited for this. And so I started saving my orange peels. We have a couple more oranges and we're gonna make the same thing just to keep making it. And I throw them in my freezer, put them in your freezer. And so this one I made with the cranberries. It smells like cranberries, but I feel like it needs to go a little bit more. And I don't know why. I don't know if it's, and maybe not. Maybe it's just the cranberries. I'm not really sure, but this one definitely smells more like fruity, I guess is the word. So we're just gonna strain that out into a container, right? How is the best way to do this? Let's do my glass bowl. Let me get my glass bowl and get a little strainer and we'll do that. That'll go a whole lot better into the spray, but thank goodness for this. One of my viewers, what is your name? It starts, I feel like you started with an H that got me this. It's been many, many years. I could be completely wrong. I think she bought me a blanket too. All right, let's get this in here. Or you could use a funnel, that would be a whole lot easier, or we can just go really slow. This smells good. It doesn't smell, you don't smell the vinegary smell. Like I said, I smell it in the cranberries one, but not in this one. It just smells very orange-like. And if you wanted to heighten senses, the smells, you could add essential oils to it as well. I think I only have like a lavender one. I'll look and see what I got in a minute. I bought one, I found it on clearance at Walmart, I think when we first moved here. And I'm like, oh, I'll use it to add to cleaners. I never did. It's still sitting in under my sink, same bottle, never touched. Time to use those things that we never touched. Look at that. Perfect. That's straight vinegar. I don't even need, oh, I guess I could have rinsed out the container. It smells a little bit like the spray in there. Let me see what I have. Okay, I'm gonna add this. This is lavender and cedarwood. That would be really good. So let's add this. This is just from Walmart. It was like $5. I'm gonna do about 15, 20. Okay, that's gonna be good. It smells really nice. Now you don't have to add the essential oils, you can just use the vinegar. This was just, again, I'm using it because I have it. I bought this and never even used it. So look at that. You can, I guess you could add water. I just don't. There's some cleaner right there. Homemade cleaner. I was hoping that the cranberries would make it more cranberry, and maybe this one will. I'll put this back in my pantry, and then when the next bottle gets empty, we'll pour it in. I'm just gonna keep doing this. So this is gonna go in my bathroom. That's what I will be using to clean my bathroom. Let's go over here, because I gotta get this done for the day. Let's take noodles. This is a package. We usually use about a bag and a half. So that is a bag. And then this is just a little bit, I know it's not the same, but not enough to make a recipe. And that is just peppers and onions and cream mushroom soup and some seasonings. That's it. Heat that up. My sour cream will mix it all together. Easy, easy lunch. It reminds me exactly of Hamburger Helper, the box stroganoff. Do you remember that? Like, we used to get Hamburger Helper, I think the regular one, and then I remember one time, I think my aunt had like a bacon cheeseburger one, and I loved it. And I begged my parents to get it. They didn't love it, but I really liked it. And then, then I remember we got stroganoff for the first time, and I remember the packet of powder, and you mixed it with water to make the sour cream, and I was like, oh, is that how you do that? I still remember that, but it was a little more sour creamy. We didn't add a ton to ours, but I still remember making that. So this reminds me of that. Look at the mixed noodles. It's good. You can even add a little bit of a beef bouillon. Sometimes I do to this to make it flavorful. It's perfect. It's done. I put the lid on it. It'll kind of absorb some of that sauce, and then we'll have this for lunch, and I can put it away for leftovers for the weekend because it is Friday, and then I won't have to worry about grabbing stuff for the lunch. Okay, all my main stuff is done right now. I've got some lunch. There's a little bit of leftovers in the refrigerator they can have as well. Sandwiches. They can even make pizzas for lunch as well, but at least something is made, and we'll have some for the weekend. My chores are done. I'm gonna go sit down, dedicate a couple hours to school, and then we'll be back, and we'll see what else we do for the day. So, see you in a minute. All right, told you I'd be back in a minute, more like a second. So, we did good. We got our school done today. Just started implementing different things. Like when kids, you have a bunch of kids to teach, and if some learn a certain way, others want to learn a different way. It's nice when you can take different learning styles and methods and like incorporate them and do it a little bit different. Like today, we did it differently, and the kids were like, wow, this is really fun. I really like doing it this way. So that was good. So we had a good time. We got the school done, what we wanted to accomplish for the week. We're doing great. I'm like, next week we'll start week 19. So we're still like on track and doing really good for the end of the school year, which is nice. And then we took a break and we went for a walk. So we got another walk in and came back home, and I went upstairs to edit for most of today's video. I had a lot of different footage on here for today, like shopping and other meals. So I'm like, okay, that kind of filled in the gaps of things for today because I was busy doing school with the kids, so it worked out. So you get a whole plethora of information today. So it was good. So then I came back downstairs and I'm like, all right. So we decided that we're gonna go for a bike ride. Normally we do like a later on kind of bike ride thing, but I'm thinking we'll go for one during the day today. So Greg is home, and I said, why don't we get moving and let's get out the door and go for a nice bike ride, because it's beautiful out. It's like the sky it's a little cloudy, but you can still see like blue in the sky. So like the sun is out. It's just nice. It's nice, and it's not where you're gonna be freezing. Nobody will have freezing fingers or anything, or be like, it's so cold. So I think we'll go take a nice bike ride and then come back, and then I will start on dinner. So some kids had the stroganoff for lunch. The ones that love it, they all like it, but some had sandwiches. Everybody has different, and I'm fine with that because it went in the refrigerator. I have 4 containers for the refrigerator, and that's going to be like meals for the weekend, which is nice. And so I got my stuff out for dinner tonight. We're going to do a pesto alfredo linguine and I've got grilled chicken in there and broccoli, and I've got my sub bread. I'm going to cut it and make it like a garlicky, crusty kind of bread toast, something like that for dinner tonight. So that'll be easy. And then running tonight, gotta drop the girls off at an event tonight, so it'll be a good evening. So for now, we're gonna take a bike ride. I won't bring you along. I'm just gonna enjoy riding, and then we'll come back and we'll finish up dinner and call it a Friday. What a great day today. I was like thinking about it. This week has gone by so well. Like I know I have my series on Tuesdays, and I have things to help you guys on Thursdays, and I'm like, but for myself, it helps me stay unfocused as well. Like reiterates a few things in my own life that I'm like, okay, I need to fix that a little bit, or I need to fix that, and it just makes my week go much smoother as well. So it's a good thing. It's a good thing when you can go through your days and like don't let things bother you, and you just kind of like let things roll off of you, and you can just enjoy doing what you're doing in your life. Isn't that a beautiful thing? It's a great thing to be able to focus on your own life and just live and enjoy. And it's great. It's awesome. It's just such a freeing feeling, instead of worrying about like anybody says, or listening to people, or listening to the enemy, or any of that stuff. It's like if you can just focus on the beautiful things that God has for your family and for you, it's like awesome. I love it. I absolutely love it. So it's a beautiful thing. All right, I'm gonna come back, go for a bike ride, come back, and we'll make some dinner. See you in a minute. Okay, we got back from a nice long bike ride. We were gone for about an hour and a half. That was really nice. Had a good time. Went a little bit, by the time we kind of go, we go a little bit further, so it was nice. And then came back, sat outside for a little bit in the swing, and it's breezy, it's sunny, it's beautiful, and I'm like, I need to start dinner here. So we are going to do linguino, base. Okay. I'm gonna see if I can. I'm hoping to use like a fettuccine noodle or linguine, whatever I have. And then I'm going to mix pesto sauce with alfredo. We're gonna mix it together a little bit, and then have that over top. And then I've put in a pan right now. I've got water boiling for the noodles. I've got chicken, my chicken fajita meat. I put that in the pan, and I have a little bit of the chicken tenders, like breaded ones. I think just a very small amount I stuck in there too. I'm gonna heat that up. It's all seasoned and yummy, and then I'm gonna kind of move over in the pan a little bit and stick some broccoli, and then cook the broccoli in there as well, so we can have that. And then have bread and put some butter on it right now. Put some garlic and parmesan cheese. Stick that in the oven. We'll have crusty bread, and that'll be easy dinner tonight. Delicious and yummy, nice little Italian food, and we'll call it a day today. So it's been a great Friday. I'm like, wow, it's the end of the day. It's beautiful. Maxine's outside loving her life. Maxine, you loving it outside? She's like, yes, mommy. Got her out for a walk. We're gonna go for another one tonight, and it's just gorgeous. Just a gorgeous day. It's one of those days where you're like, okay, it's enjoyable and quiet and peaceful, and everything's just kind of gone well. So let's go back in. The kids are watching TV, so I don't want to film in there. I'm just going to be doing the pasta. It's simple. It's literally dump and go, easy. What we have, gathering fragments in the freezers, in pantries. The chicken is already like seasoned. It's got stuff. I just added some garlic to a little bit of onion. I'm just gonna kind of move to the side and put broccoli in there so it can cook. So I've got frozen broccoli in here and a little bit of fresh broccoli. So I'll just kind of let it steam, do its thing. It should do good. Water boil over here. I found I have a little bit of linguine noodles. And then I just grabbed a handful of spaghetti noodles. You do what you can do. That will go in here for pasta. Got the bread in the oven. It's gonna be a good dinner. And my chicken cooked just fine, and I just put the broccoli in there, even with the raw broccoli, and just put the lid on it, let it kind of steam, turn it down, put salt and pepper on it. It cooked and steamed just great. So this is all good. I just left it there. I shut it off and leave the lid on. That'll kind of steam a little bit more, and that's done. I'm waiting on the noodles here and the bread. I will get that out in a few seconds, minutes probably, and then we'll be calling it good for dinner. This is dinner, the basil pesto fettuccine. This is the diagram one. And this is the chicken and broccoli. Smells delicious. And then we've got our bread maker, a little garlic bread right there. Looking yummy. All right, so I am finished, done with my food in the kitchen. It tastes very good. It's gonna be a delicious, yummy meal for my family tonight. We're gonna enjoy eating. Drop off a couple of the kids to go to an activity and probably get another walk-in tonight because it's just that nice of a night. Edit, call it a Friday, and then the weekend is here. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope you had a good day as well. I hope you have a great week and come back. We got some good stuff, some encouragement for you for the weekend. And then I'll see you again on Monday. We got some more motivation, like resetting, getting our plans for the week. All right, you have a fantastic rest of your day. I'll see you again. Bye.